Are you constantly disrespected and don't know how to respond? Are you insecure and don't know how to handle disrespect? It is a common challenge we all experience in life and can be upsetting and frustrating. But what if we could draw lessons from ancient Stoic philosophy, which instructs us on how to approach difficult situations? With wisdom and grace, we explore in this video 10 practical principles of Stoicism that may offer a better way to deal with disrespect. As always, I challenge you to stay strong and see it through to the end of the video. Let's start. 1. Stay calm. At the core of Stoicism lies the teaching that we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by how we interpret those events. Disrespect is not inherently harmful or offensive. It is our interpretation and judgment that generates feelings of hurt or anger. When faced with a lack of respect, remembering that someone's behavior is the result of their own thoughts, not a reflection of our real value, can help us maintain serenity and prevent this lack of respect from affecting our emotional state. 2. Contemplate your own being. Another essential facet of Stoicism lies in the practice of self-reflection and self-examination. The Stoics maintained that the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives, underscoring the constant need to perfect ourselves both personally and in our actions. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the joy in your life is linked to the excellence of your thoughts. In the face of disrespect, it is crucial to reflect internally and ask questions such as, is there any truth in the other person's words or actions? Did I contribute in any way to the generation of this situation? How can I respond in a way that is consistent with my values and virtues? By objectively reflecting on oneself and the situation, one gains a deeper understanding of the event and one's role in it. Self-reflection, a hallmark of Stoicism, ensures that our responses are based on rational judgment rather than impulsive reactions. This process not only facilitates learning from the situation, but also drives personal growth and the acquisition of wisdom. 3. Take a moment of reflection. Seneca claimed that every time we experience anger, we are cultivating a habit rather than simply facing a momentary annoyance. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-control and rationality, arguing that impulsive responses driven by intense emotions, such as anger or frustration, often lead to poor decisions and unnecessary suffering. In the face of disrespect, the Stoic perspective suggests avoiding impulsive reactions, opting instead to take a moment of pause to collect your thoughts. This pause makes it possible to regain emotional control and offers the opportunity to respond in a more measured and thoughtful way by resisting the impulse to react immediately. By aligning the response with the Stoic principles of wisdom and self-control, the generation of more constructive and less emotionally charged interactions is encouraged. In situations of disrespect, the act of pausing emerges as a key strategy of Stoicism, facilitating maintaining composure and making rational decisions, with ultimately more positive results and evident personal growth. 4. Cultivate empathy. Epictetus and other influential Stoic philosophers highlight the importance of not seeking goodness in external elements, but within ourselves. Stoic philosophy embraces the idea of human interconnectedness, maintaining that understanding the motivations and emotions of others can lead to richer interactions and foster personal growth. In the face of lack of respect, Stoicism proposes the practice of empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their perspective. Empathy facilitates the perception of the situation from different angles, allowing us to recognize that the lack of respect may not necessarily be personal or intentional, but possibly derived from insecurities, fears, or ignorance. By practicing empathy, you can experience compassion toward the person and reduce negative feelings, avoiding personally interpreting their words or actions. Responding in a respectful and dignified manner becomes possible by empathizing with those who showed disrespect. Empathy enables you to understand another's perspective, feelings, and motivations, allowing you to respond with kindness rather than anger or defensiveness. This approach helps prevent conflict escalation and preserve your dignity. The practice of empathy reflects the Stoic principles of wisdom, compassion, and personal development, promoting learning in challenging situations and personal growth. Being an exception for getting this far in the video, let's move forward together to the end. 5. Focus on virtue. One of the main ideas of Stoicism is to develop virtues such as wisdom and courage. These are the qualities that help us live well and act correctly. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, wrote that virtue is nothing more than correct reason. This means that being virtuous is the same as being rational and consistent with the natural order of things. Stoics believe that virtue is the supreme good in life and that everything else is indifferent when we face disrespect from others. Stoicism teaches us to focus on virtue in our response. This does not mean that we should ignore or tolerate disrespect, but rather that we should respond in a way that reflects our Stoic values and principles. By focusing on virtue, we can avoid being influenced by our emotions, maintain our dignity and integrity, and grow as a person. Stoicism challenges us to be the best version of ourselves, even in difficult situations. 6. Embrace acceptance. One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is to embrace situations that are beyond our control, such as lack of respect for others. Epictetus stated that wisdom lies in not grieving for what one does not have, but rejoicing in what one does have. This principle involves cultivating gratitude for what is present in our lives and not worrying about what we are missing. Stoicism also guides us to discern between what we can control and what is beyond our control, known as the Stoic dichotomy of control. We only have influence over our own thoughts, emotions, and actions, not external events or the behavior of others. Therefore, when faced with disrespect, we are urged not to allow it to disturb our inner peace, but rather to accept it as an inherent facet of existence. Focusing on what we can improve in ourselves and our situation becomes the key. By embracing disrespect with a Stoic approach, we manage to avoid emotions such as anger, frustration, and resentment, thus avoiding unnecessary suffering. Furthermore, this attitude allows us to extract learning from experience and evolve as individuals. Ultimately, it enables us to deal with disrespect rationally and calmly. 7. Use humor. Sometimes a touch of humor is extremely beneficial, as the ancient philosopher Seneca expressed, when he stated that one masters oneself when one knows how to deal with what should not be taken seriously. While Stoicism instructs us in controlling our emotions and making rational decisions, it also recognizes the value of humor as a tool to face challenges. Humor can be an ally to preserve our emotional balance and avoid falling into anger or excessive annoyance when faced with a lack of respect. Instead of allowing emotions to get the best of us, we can choose to respond sharply with a witty remark or a playful joke. Of course, the use of humor must be appropriate and moderate, but it is revealed as a useful Stoic technique for managing disrespect in a way that promotes more positive and peaceful results. 8. Establish definite boundaries. Stoicism does not advocate being passive, but rather being firm, like a rock that remains unwavering in the face of disrespect and injustice. Being like a rock means knowing your own value and demanding respect from others, maintaining control over what you can and letting go of what escapes your influence. When someone does not show respect, there is no need to accept it submissively or react with anger. Instead, you can stay calm and be assertive. Establishing clear and reasonable limits becomes a vital tool to protect your dignity and self-respect. This is what Stoicism transmits to us: strength, justice, and courage, guiding us towards mutual respect and the preservation of our internal balance and external dignity in any circumstance. 9. Choose forgiveness. Visualize the scenario where someone shows you disrespect. How do you face that situation? Do you let anger consume you, or do you prefer to free yourself from it? In ancient Stoic philosophy, we find a valuable perspective. The Stoics maintain that forgiveness is not an altruistic gesture toward others, but rather a gift you give to yourself. Forgiving is revealed as the key to achieving inner peace and happiness, although they recognize that it is not a simple task. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or supporting what happened. Rather, it involves making the conscious decision to release negative emotions that affect you more than anyone else. The Stoics propose to forgive everyone, but with discernment, guided by compassion and justice. Stoic teaching urges us to focus on what we can control and let go of what is beyond our control. We cannot control the actions of others, but we can choose how to respond. Choosing forgiveness means freeing ourselves from the weight of anger and resentment, choosing to move forward with a sense of inner peace and serenity. In this context, forgiveness, according to Stoicism, does not represent weakness, but strength. It is not surrender, but victory. It is not a sacrifice, but a reward. Ultimately, forgiveness is revealed as the ultimate act of self-care and personal development. 10. Change your perspective. Perspective involves the ability to look at situations from a broader, more objective view, helping you avoid overreacting or taking things personally when you experience disrespect. Instead of reacting impulsively, allow yourself to understand that such disrespect has no significant impact on the bigger picture. As the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius noted, our life is what our thoughts make it. By applying perspective, you can perceive that most instances of disrespect are insignificant and temporary, without affecting your true worth or happiness. Additionally, it gives you the ability to recognize that disrespect often reflects the other person's ignorance, insecurity, or weakness, not yours. You can choose to ignore it, forgive it, or learn from it instead of allowing it to upset you. Perspective also guides you toward what really matters in life, your goals, values, and virtues. Using your energy and time productively, you pursue what is meaningful to you, rather than wasting it on feelings of resentment or desires for revenge. By adopting this mindset, you will be able to live a more fulfilling and peaceful life. Remember that the next time you face disrespect, perspective will be your ally to stay calm and act wisely. It is essential to remember that Stoicism does not seek to repress emotions, but rather to manage them effectively. By applying these 10 principles, you will be equipped to maintain composure and strength in the face of disrespectful situations and rude behavior. If you find these tips helpful, please feel free to give it a thumbs up so we can reach more people searching for ancient wisdom. If you are new to this channel, we invite you to subscribe and activate the notification bell to receive more lessons on ancient wisdom. We sincerely appreciate your attention and hope to see you in our next video. Stay Stoic.